In the not-so-distant future, Earth is slowly becoming uninhabitable due to environmental destruction, and humanity is desperate to find a way out. Then, without warning, a massive black orb materializes near Mars. In response, 6 astronauts are dispatched aboard the spaceship Achilles to investigate. The crew spends 8 months in suspended animation during their voyage. Carla is haunted by recurring dreams of her daughter and late mother, who both died tragically in a car accident 2 years earlier. As they approach the orb with only 8 hours left, the crew is awakened. They stretch and try to regain focus. Carla notices Ruben looks shaken. It was his first time in cryosleep, and she advises him to get some rest. But Ruben chooses to document his experience for his large online following. Later, Carla meets with Commander Paul, and they attempt to scan the object. However, the ship's AI reports nothing detectable. Carla suggests turning back, but Paul insists they push forward. The lack of information makes Ruben even more uneasy. The crew contacts Vance, head of the mission, who urges them to continue, emphasizing Earth is counting on them. Not long after, Carla begins hearing her mother's voice echoing in the ship, though no one is there. Around the same time, Ruben wakes up in terror from eerie whispers. When Carla returns to her quarters, Vance video calls to express concern over her appearance. Carla assures him she's fine, but the transmission abruptly ends, and the AI announces an anomaly triggered by the orb. Carla rushes to the bridge, finding the sphere emitting a blinding beam toward the ship, disrupting systems. The rest of the team joins her, and Tez suggests the beam might be guiding them. As they near the sphere, the AI detects a sound from it. Carla analyzes the signal, which translates into a repeating message, Deus, Latin for God. This terrifies Ruben, who begs them to retreat before fleeing the room. Carla proposes halting the approach and contacting Vance in case it's an alien threat, but Paul dismisses her concerns and continues. They check on Ruben, who is in tears, convinced the light signifies divine judgment and claims voices told him so. He pleads again to abort the mission and leaves. The team debates what the sphere could be, deciding it's their duty to uncover the truth. If it turns out to be a cosmic prank, they'll destroy it. Paul, monitoring them on camera, instructs Ulf to stop joking about explosions. As they near the sphere, both Carla and Ruben hear the voices once more. Ulf takes Carla to her room, where she shares she's been suffering headaches since the crash but says nothing about the voices. Their conversation is interrupted when Tez alerts them that Ruben has vanished. Ignoring Ulf's worries, Carla joins the search. They split up, and Tez explores the cargo area. There, she discovers Ruben hidden behind crates, surrounded by lights while performing a ritual inspired by the voices in his mind. Religious markings appear carved into his skin. When Tez sees him, she screams in horror. Carla and Ulf rush to her, but by the time they arrive, Tez lies dead, disemboweled. Ruben spots Carla and grabs her, threatening to kill her too as Ulf arrives. Ruben, clearly unhinged, says salvation is impossible and that landing on the orb will seal their fate in God's wrath. He accuses Paul of hiding the truth and suggests mutiny. Just then, Paul shows up behind him and shoots without hesitation, killing Ruben instantly. Cold and detached, Paul tells Ulf to prepare 2 body bags. Carla picks up Ruben's blade and follows Paul to the elevator, questioning whether he's hiding something. Paul denies it, growing angry when Carla hints at abandoning the mission. He reminds her they're under orders. When they reach her room, Carla lashes out at Paul's emotionless attitude about their teammates' deaths, but Paul walks off silently. Instead of bagging the bodies, Ulf gently places them back in their cryochambers. With only 3 hours until arrival, the remaining crew detaches the main frame of Achilles and boards a smaller vessel to maneuver into the orb. Carla observes what looks like a structure on the sphere's surface, though its purpose is unclear. Once the ship touches down, their communications start functioning again, and they receive a transmission from Vance. He tells them that 10,000 similar unidentified formations have suddenly appeared on Earth. Though they show no signs of aggression, Vance suspects the sphere is responsible and urges the crew to uncover the truth quickly. Paul instructs Carla and Ulf to step outside and investigate. The 3 gear up and exit while Paul monitors their progress through the ship's cameras. The environment around them is pitch black, limiting visibility, and Carla's scanner fails to detect anything useful. When she touches the surface, she remarks that the material doesn't match any known earthly element. Paul instructs them to examine the nearby structure. Up close, they realize it's some sort of gateway. Suddenly, light starts emanating from inside the portal, prompting O to fire a flare to illuminate the structure better. They notice a marking that resembles the Event Horizon symbol, representing a threshold beyond which nothing is the same. Carla refers to it as the edge of existence and confirms through scanning that it's made from the same substance as the sphere. Unexpectedly, a strange sound is heard, something that should be impossible in space. Paul relays that the AI picked up a signal and is now transmitting it to their comms. It says, "Welcome." As the light intensifies, a woman materializes within the gate. She communicates telepathically, and the AI translates her words, stating she is a messenger for the originator of all creation. This entity is here to offer guidance and deliver a warning. Humanity is given a choice. Those who walk through the gate will attain everlasting serenity, and Carla has been chosen to guide them. Inside lies freedom from suffering and pain. However, if they choose to stay, Earth will be destroyed once the sphere arrives. Then the woman morphs into Carla's mother and claims someone is waiting for her beyond the gate. In shock, Carla steps into the light and is struck by a memory of the car accident. She soon finds herself near a luminous golden city, her head still bleeding from the same injury. Her daughter appears, and she rushes toward her, but just before they meet, Carla awakens back on the ship, lying on a table. Disoriented, she vomits and asks how she got there. Ulf explains she was barely conscious when he retrieved her from the gate. Sadly, Sean didn't survive. Just then, Vance contacts them, demanding a full report. Carla describes the Golden City, comparing it to Jerusalem. Ulf refers to it as heaven. Carla, however, withholds details about her family, even as Vance keeps pressing, unconvinced by her vague responses. After the call ends, Paul walks out, clearly frustrated. Carla then asks Ulf how Sean died. He claims a tear in Sean's suit caused it. Carla doubts that since their suits are supposedly indestructible. Ulf explains Sean failed to properly secure his glove and suffered decompression. Still, Carla remains skeptical. Sean was far too experienced for such an oversight. Ulf, sensing her suspicion, reminds her that even experts can err and advises her to rest. Carla expresses her desire to return to the sphere. But Ulf tells her the ship is already departing and trails her out. When they reach a blind spot with no surveillance, Ulf quietly asks what she truly experienced inside the gate. Carla opens up about seeing her family and confesses her distrust in both Paul and Vance, feeling they are hiding something. Later, Ulf returns to the control room where Paul questions what Carla revealed while off camera. Ulf lies, saying she didn't say anything new. Paul eyes him warily and reminds him to follow protocol. As the vessel clears the sphere's orbit, the AI announces the crew will re-enter hibernation in an hour. Carla, carrying Ruben's blade, visits the cryopods to inspect Sean's suit. Then, using the knife, she breaks into Paul's quarters to search for evidence. Paul notices her on the surveillance feed and dispatches Ulf to confront her. Inside, Carla finds a weapon and classified documents. As Ulf arrives, she halts him by aiming the gun in his direction. She's already read the files and discovered Ulf's past as an elite soldier once known as the best. Ulf swears he left that life behind and insists he knows nothing about the sphere. Carla marches him back to the control deck at gunpoint and then turns the weapon on Paul. Paul accuses her of mutiny and warns the penalty is death. Carla counters, revealing Sean died from a bullet wound. She accuses Ulf of killing him, citing his past as a hired assassin. Before things escalate, Vance calls in, assuring Carla he's on her side and says every scientist believes she really saw paradise. He shows footage of people on Earth filling the streets in desperation after seeing the sphere broadcast. While Carla is stunned, Paul lunges. During the scuffle, Carla fights back and ends up shooting him in the chest, killing him. She soon realizes she's been injured and is bleeding from her abdomen. After Vance ends the call, Carla turns the gun on Ulf. He confesses to shooting Sean but insists he doesn't want to harm her. Choosing to believe him, Carla lets Ulf take her to the med bay, where he patches her up. Once stable, Carla admits she's determined to return to the sphere, but Vance still controls the ship's AI. Ulf discloses that he holds the override code for the AI, but using it means they'll need to detach the heel. Achilles is simply too massive to navigate manually. They'd lose the primary engine, making the return journey to Earth stretch over 5 years. Carla begins to lose faith, yet Ulf presents a backup plan he's been quietly preparing. Carla then heads back to the command deck and contacts Vance, warning him she's ready to eliminate the sphere if it turns out to be a deception. In response, Vance unlocks a set of confidential records, revealing that the rare element Carla discovered originated from him. He was the one behind the creation of the sphere. There is no divine force. His real mission was to preserve 6 billion lives while wiping out the other 15, blaming Earth's collapse on overpopulation. It was a grand illusion, designed to terrify people into running toward the mysterious gates scattered across the globe. They believed paradise awaited, but were unknowingly walking toward annihilation. Confused about why she saw her family, Carla presses for answers, and Vance confesses that after her accident, also orchestrated by him, he implanted a chip in her brain. Her entire journey was part of his carefully crafted program to mold her for this mission. Devastated, Carla tearfully calls him a monster and recalls a story her mother used to tell about how every soul deserves the chance to live. Just then, Ulf radios her, saying he secured control of Achilles' core. Realizing they plan to obliterate the sphere, Vance panics and commands the AI to trigger the ship's self-destruct protocol. Red lights flash as alarms echo, and the AI declares that Achilles will detonate in 3 minutes. Furious, Carla shoots the projection system to cut off Vance's feed, then contacts Ulf, who provides her with the code to detach the main vessel from the heavy cargo section. But Ulf is stuck in an elevator that's too slow to get him back in time. He urges Carla to escape without him. Though she refuses at first, the countdown reaches its final stage, and the ship begins erupting in flames across several areas. With no other option, Carla initiates separation and watches helplessly as the explosions engulf the main structure, believing Ulf has perished. Suddenly, Ulf's voice breaks through the comms. He made the leap just in time. Reunited, the two share a relieved toast, and Ulf explains that now, with half of Achilles lost, they'll need to activate the core's detonation manually. Carla agrees, insisting they'll handle it side by side. But when the ship touches down on the sphere, Ulf locks the door behind him and tells Carla she must return home to reveal the truth. She boards the vessel, and they exchange a final farewell before she departs. Once her ship is a safe distance away, Ulf initiates the core's explosion, obliterating the sphere at last. Carla, now alone, begins the long voyage back to Earth, and the AI informs her the journey will take 7 years. And with that, the movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed the video, you can subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.